This is an absolutely stunning coin from the Raw Mint, the Three Graces, and it is setting the second-hand market alight with its glory, doing very well indeed. But I could have flipped it for nearly £800 more than I am likely to get for it now at the start. So there are a lot of lessons to be learned from the ownership of this coin and its grading and its potential selling in the future. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for this week's Precious Metal Ramble, which is going to be all about graded coins, selling them, flipping them, making money, self-grading as well. We're going to talk about the process that I went through and a bit of my feedback on that process. And then also I want to focus on the fall from grace of the Three Graces. Markets have changed quite a lot since this coin was issued, and arguably I could have earned an awful lot more money flipping this right at the very start than I did by grading it and potentially selling it at some point in the future. So lots of really interesting things to talk about, enjoy, think about and learn in today's video, and I hope you enjoy it as we go. So if you do, hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. So this coin hit the world by storm earlier this year. It was the follow-on to the very successful Una and the Lion, which came out last year, and I did not get the Una and the Lion. I missed out on that buzz. I wasn't expecting it to be anything massive, but of course it just went parabolic, absolutely exponentially mad. So when we heard that this was coming out, of course it was something to get in the queue for, and I did, and was very lucky to get the silver proof version, which actually is a really good one to get in my opinion, because getting any of the bigger gold versions is an awful lot of cash to lock up, and whilst yes, there are some great returns to be had on those gold coins, maximizing and making sure that you get the most out of this potential market is a really important thing. Now, coin flipping is one of those things where people are, they're a little bit funny about it sometimes. They can see it as a little bit immoral. In my books, there is certain elements of that which are a little bit in your face. If somebody buys it and immediately puts it on eBay, like the very next day or the same day, and obviously is just trying to flip it. You were in the right time at the right place, you got lucky, you got in the queue, and somebody else now has to pay for that privilege to own the coin. That sits a little bit bad with me, but for me, generally, this coin here was bought always as a flipper investing coin. And when I got it, I did very much look at the different market prices that were being achieved on that short-term flip market. And there were coins going for over £2,000 on eBay and indeed on various different dealer sites. I even contacted a British coin dealer here in the UK, and I was offered £1,800 to probably, it was £1,800 to £2,000, depending on the quality of it when they inspected it. And I decided not to take that. I decided I wanted to go and grade it. I hadn't actually decided at the time whether I wanted to keep this long term. I think this does have some really good potential for the long term. But eventually I decided that I would get it graded and took that gamble, because at the time it was thought that a graded PF70 version was going to easily achieve £2,500 to £3,000, which for a coin that costs £250 plus your grading fees of £30 is quite the profit margin, 10 times your investment return, which is pretty mad. So I decided to get it graded, and I did, and we'll talk about the grading process in the second part of this video. And it came back a PF69, and since that whole process, which takes about 10 weeks, the market has settled a little bit. There have been fewer coins put up for sale in the intermediary period, because I think a lot of people like me sent them off for grading. And then all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, all of these coins started coming back from grading, and loads of people were starting to flip them, put them on eBay, put them on coin auctions. And it was quite evident quite quickly that these coins are not getting the £2,500 to £3,000 for the silvers, or the £40,000 for the gold 2-ounce that lots of other people were hoping for from the Una and the Lion. They're still earning great profits, don't get me wrong, and a PF69 like this sold, a number of them sold on various different coin auctions for £1,250, so minus the selling fees there of 10%, you're probably looking at over £1,000 in your pocket, £600, £700, £800 profit depending on what you paid for your coin. Brilliant, well done, love it. But something inside me goes, I could have sold this for £1,800, £2,000 in its raw form beforehand. So lessons learned definitely from that whole process of flipping. And whilst I don't necessarily agree with that immediate flip, and I don't do that very often, you can understand why the market is driving that kind of behavior at the moment. And whilst some people might not like it, ultimately, you know, people are there to make money, and it's the fiat currency money that you get from this that is then put back into whatever you want is the important thing for a lot of people. So from my perspective, I don't feel like it was the right decision for me to flip it immediately, because I am a big fan of Royal Mint coins and products. I think they are wonderful. I think they are lovely. I don't have the Una in the line. That's the only thing standing in my way of potentially keeping this for a very long time. But I do think that this has got legs to grow a little bit more from where it is now, because of course everybody's trying to flip them. Everybody's a little bit worried perhaps that the market's falling out the bottom of these coins. It's going to go below £1,000. I think as and when there are fewer for sale on coin auctions, that these will garner a little bit of a better price. But I could be wrong. But, you know, that's the gamble we take. And I think it's very evident from my perspective when I took the gamble to not sell it raw. I sold it, you know, I haven't sold it yet, to wait and sell it graded at an auction. That was my gamble. Didn't get the PF70, but you know what? For a £300 investment with grading fees, this is something I think that is going to earn good money in the future, and it's something that I will enjoy. And I've learned a lot from this process because I self-graded, which is very different to what I've done in the past, grading via different people and different companies. And self-grading is something that I would advocate to everybody. I think it is so easy, and it's so misconceived to be difficult. One of the things that people always say is that the forms look so complex and difficult. Well, I've got the forms here, and they're actually really quite simple to do. You just fill in your personal details at the top, which I'm obviously not going to show you, and then you choose the type of submission, whether it's a world coin, what kind of maximum coin values you've got, the types of coins they are here, and then of course you just list them, and it's really that simple. Send them off. For us in the UK, send it off to NGC UK. It's then sent off to the graders in the US. The whole process took about 10 weeks back to back. The only criticism I have and will have on this particular process was that it's just a little bit lacking in updates. Like, you can log into your account on NGC and see the status of your coins, but for the first like 3 weeks, it just didn't show on the system, so I didn't know if they'd even received it. I could see from the special delivery tracking that they had, but nothing was there. But then it came up, but there was no notification that it came up, and then you go throughout and you don't know when it's going to be graded. It went to grading, like the status was to grading and quality control, and then nothing for like 3 weeks, and then suddenly the grading happened, and I logged in and checked, and I saw my grades, great, and then it's like it comes back. Still nothing for like another 3 weeks. So it's a little bit lackluster in updates for my liking, but if you're going to log in every day and check it, then I guess it's not the biggest problem in the world. Now, I also graded a couple of other different types of coins, and this one is another really good example of a coin which is performing exceptionally well. This one turned out to be a PF70 of the Griffin of Edward, the big chunky 1 ounce gold Griffin, which we actually bought as a little bit of a afterthought, kind of crowning glory to the Queen's Beast series. The Queen's Beast Griffin here was the last proof coin to be released from the Royal Mint in this proof series. And when we were checking out on the website, Mrs. Backyard Bullion said, do you not think that that Griffin might be quite a good one for the future? Do you not think it would be popular? The Griffin is the most popular. And this 1 ounce gold was still available, which we then bought. So thank you to Mrs. Backyard Bullion for emptying my bank account. But she made the right decision, because when you look at the results that are coming in for auctions of the PF70 of this coin, they're getting £3,300. Again, less the seller's fees, so you're probably getting about £3 in your pocket for a £2,300 issue price. That's a good £700 profit. But again, it's about how and where you might look to sell them. And the flipping market is a really interesting one. So traditionally, back when I was buying coins more often to flip, I don't do very many, but I used to do it quite often, not just with Royal Mint stuff, with loads of different stuff as well. I would sell on eBay, and eBay would be the go-to place for a lot of the sales of the coins that I had, which was for flipping. And they would be bullion coins, they would be proof coins, special releases, things like that as well. Now, I wouldn't touch eBay with a barge pole. eBay has died, in my opinion, for private individuals to sell. If you've got your business and you've got business insurance and you've got, you know, buyer or seller protection insurance through eBay or through other means, then yeah, okay, you can potentially go about it. But for a private individual, for me to look to want to sell this coin on eBay and have it either go as an auction for anybody and anybody to get in, or to sell just as a buy it now, really doesn't sing true with me. And the fact that I would still have to pay 12.5%, 13%, I think it is, through eBay, and now of course it's gone to managed payments, so they have access to your bank account, not just your PayPal account. If the buyer plays silly buggers and moves around and tries to scam you, which is unfortunately more and more common in this post-COVID world of hardship that a lot of people are in. And you know, £3,500 coin, it's not going to take very much for somebody to set up a fraudulent account, buy this coin, say it arrived but it was different, send back a brick in the post, and you as the seller will have not a single leg to stand on. And especially if you're just a private seller that's just selling the odd thing here and there, eBay are not going to listen to anything that you've got to say about protection, and you know, they just don't care, because of course if you sell just the odd coin here and there, they're going to get piddly amounts of commission. And even now, like, you still get these eBay offers. I get them nearly every other week or so for £3 sellers fees, £1 sellers fees. So why would eBay even lift a finger to try and protect their £1 sellers fees that they're getting for coins like this? It's just not the right place for me. So the question now becomes, where and how do we look to sell these coins at some point in the future? I think both of these are going to be sold at some point, whether that be within the next 12 months to 2 years. That's the kind of earmark I've got for them. You've got to always time things with popularity, with, you know, relevancy, recency, and I think that these two do have legs within the next 12 months. So where do you sell them? I mean, I could look to sell them here on YouTube. If anybody is interested, then you know, you can get in touch and we can look to sell them. But again, you know, it's just a difficult one to look to do. There are coin auction companies which I have been researching quite a lot, and there's a few of them which I would be very interested in actually using for a lot of these. And I think that's probably the single best way to sell rare coins like these. I say rare coins, you know, artificially rare coins, modern coins from the Royal Mint. Perfect versions and specimens of these coins as well. I think it is the right thing to do. And I think I will be looking into those at some point in the future, and I'll be looking to put them up on auction. You know, a specialized coin auction is going to be much better than just a random eBay auction. Yes, there are a lot of coin buyers on eBay looking for deals, but ultimately a specialist coin auction house that can not only protect you as the seller, I mean, you send these off to the coin auction house, they then obviously get this sent out, they take your cash, they sort out any problems, and then you get your money at the end. That is the whole point of this. You know, it's an added layer of security, and to be honest, their fees, most of these companies' fees are at 10% these days, which is less than it is for eBay at the moment. And yes, you can get the £1 sellers fees on eBays and things like that, but you know, for me, that's probably the way forward. So there will be another follow-up video on this at some point in the future when we get to the point of selling these coins. But it is an interesting journey that we've been on with this Three Graces coin, certainly, where there was easily a 9-fold return on investment, or 8-fold return on investment at nearly £2,000 could have got for this coin when I had it right there at the start. I had literally a concrete offer from a company that's not actually that far away from me, and I could have driven up there that day and gotten the cash in my hand, nearly £1,800 to £2,000, depending on what they thought of it when they saw it and looked at it. So could have done that, chose not to, chose to gamble, chose to send it off for grading, and now of course the market has changed considerably. I thought at the time there wasn't a great deal to lose, because even if I got this PF69 grade that you see here, I would have still perhaps got around that £1,800 mark for it. £1,200 now less the seller's fees is considerably less, but we all have to remember it's a first world problem, because at the end of the day we're still tripling our money, if not quadrupling our money here. So it is, you know, an interesting market for sure. I'd love to know your opinion on this though, so please feel free to comment down below. Do you have a Three Graces? Have you flipped it? Have you sold it? Are you going to hold on to it for a long time? Where do you think that the prices will be in 12 months? Maybe later on this year or early next year when the next one is released in the series. Is that going to propel these ones up? The Una and the Lions are still holding pretty good prices, but it will be interesting to see where these go. So that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do feel free to comment down below and hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you do like this video, there's a good chance you'll like other videos in the future. Otherwise, that is it from me. A big thank you to you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.